Hello, I'm the German Hoi Boy and I play Hoi and Germany. I have much bigger German channel with a lot of Let's Plays, tutorials and everything else. If you from Germany, you can also watch something on that channel. I will talk a bit about Germany and German history in this game, and I will explain a lot of how the game works in my Let's Plays. So if you are new in the game, this is probably a good way to learn something. And if you like to learn something about German history, that's also good idea here. Yes, let's start it. I know. I use a mod, a tech mod. That's Ultimate Tech Mod New Horizon. If you like to know exactly which mod, I will put it in the description. I forgot this always, so remember me please. The text go einfach longer to yeah, to the 90s in some areas, because my let's plays I play always World Conquest or to the Final Victory. Endsieg, we call this in Germany. um, and that's take sometimes a little bit longer, so I like this mod. Because in the normal games, then nothing worse researched until 1943, 44. So, and then you have always something to research. So, I play historical. Yes, that's not something important. What do you first in Germany? German Focus 3? Halt die Klappe. Be quiet. Anschluss is Anschluss. Rheinland is always a good idea because what you want the next big useful or good focuses are in this area, but you want to delay this a little bit because you get here to industry research bonus, and you want to use this bonus on the higher industry tax, for example, construction, or not on the early one, of course, and that's the reason why you delay this a little bit. You also need the tank chassis because you can make the tank treaty with the communists, the USSR. And then you need these both chassis to get this Panzerkampfwagen 3 und Panzerkampfwagen 4. Yes, and if you don't have this, you must make your models yourself. That is stuff. Stupid. Armor plate. Yes. Some civilian factories. You get the autobahn here, and there you get infrastructure 100 in some areas, and you want build your factories in other areas before you get this because they are cheaper later. Yes. Where in Germany is not this important because nobody bombed Germany, so that's not a problem. Construction, you always need gardens, especially in the beginning because you must expand your armies. Some artillery are always useful. Bomber. Yes. Ships. I always finish the ones that are in the construction queue, but then I build only U-boats or Unterseeboote, we call it in Germany. And from this word, the word U-boat comes. Develops. Make one big blob. Yes, and then train them because yes, let's train them because I need the army XP. Same for the Air Force. You can delete all your planes and add new airings. You can't delete your fleet. If you my first game I delete my fleet is again I can deploy the menu. No, you can't. But it's a long time. I have now 3,340 hours in this game, so I know a little bit of what about I'm talking. So, don't hide. Don't be shy. So, go. This is the German version of the game, so you don't see some evil persons here. And some other evil persons are also censored. I don't know why, because in the Hearts of Iron 3 there were no problem with these evil persons. But I think Paradox will want to play it very safe with this game. So that's probably the reason. Fuel, we are running out of fuel. Rubber, not a big, no big problem. Yeah, we're running out of fuel fast. I want to train them before the Spanish Civil War starts because they are, can level then in the fighting and level up more. So that's the reason why I training them before the war. XP, it's not that value. I lose a lot of equipment in this training. Don't train the Panzers because they are more expensive. That's probably one division worth of equipment are gone to training purposes. Well, not really good. But I think I need some XP. Ha! Nimm das, Frankreich. So, Rheinland. Next step. I want to delay this a little bit more. Army innovation, always a good idea. So one ship is finished. Just queue them up and build everything. I don't care. I can do two things. I can take Goebbels and use the more war support to go on war economy. But for something else, Goebbels is not very useful. Can get a little bit more stability because of party popularity, but and workhorse is more useful. You don't take Rudolf Hess because he sometimes fly to England and then he's gone, so you take always Bormann. Or you want change this for free, but that's on. Army command. Don't really need one now. Better save the PP for war economy, and you can send an attaché to Spain, and then you get enough war support anyway. Haha. That's but I save it. Spain. Civil War, please. No. Ah, I can switch the this button so that you only we use the old fighters, and I don't care about the old fighters because I can't use them anyway later. Um, uh, Try to put all new fighters in this air wing. Ah, finally. So industry. So send reinforcements to the right. Oh, I make one mistake. I don't forget to train units because I can now send only 2 volunteers, and I can send 3 if I have enough units. But that's not a big problem.
Ihre Befehle?
Important air volunteers. They don't accept my attaché because they are neutral for some reason. So I sent them a little bit some land lease to change this. I sent the weapons once, and you must send something for forever or every month. But then you get more XP from the using these weapons. Now I have to send them some fuel. So, stopp. So. So. Truppe ist da. Troops are arrived in Spain. Ja.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Ah, the Italians are also there. And the Air Force. No. This airing is too big. So this number show how many planes I can send, and this just work. So the first Lend-Lease comes soon, and then I can change my economy law. Yes, I need this point. Then.
Angetreten.
What can I do now? Not really much because
Ausrücken.
Spain have a modifier unplanned offensive, so I get so I can't really attack
Ihre Befehle.
until this modifier go away. But I can still fight a little bit, gain experience. My favorite trait is always this here, because if you have the logistic wizard, you never have really some supply issues, because he can the extra supply ability use. Air Force do something. In this mod, the fighter can also do some ground attack, but I think it's not really very useful. But there are no enemy bombers, so. The first delivery comes soon.
Angetreten.
Little bit waste of equipment, but a waste. Now I can send some more troops to Spain. One infanterist. Haha.
Ausrücken.
Dum. Na, passt ja. Ja, das Song fits. Da kannst du Attaché. War Economy. So, let's build the Mark Panzerausführung 4 Ausführung A. Panzerkampfwagen is the correct German term. The most, or one of the most built German tanks in the war. And let's modify this vehicle. And I have no artillery. this is the famous Sturmgeschütz assault gun. And that's the most built German vehicle ever in the war. But I want them built as tank artillery, because tank destroyer are not very useful in the game. The first was more artillery-like and shredder developed in tank destroyer. In most games you see this vehicle as the tank destroyer, but that's not intentional role.
Achtung!
That's also another famous German song, Die Wacht am Rhein. I would translate is the guard on the Rhine. Because some French king in the 1700s want to expand French France to the Rhine. And that was some reaction from the Germans. Move to free trade. I must change it back anyway later, but I like the construction bonus. No.
Zeigt es ihnen!
So, counter attack.
Zurück!
So now I can take one more industry tech and then use the bonus for the real expensive tech. Oh, I run out of fuel, that's bad. But the Navy don't use any fuel, so no. Doctrine. Yes, I take it. But the problem is, this is a weaker doctrine in air-to-air combat, because I don't get any agility bonus, and so I will lose against other fighters. But it's the German Air Force was intended to ground support, so this is historically correct. If I have a air fights over England, I would, or something like that, this or this doctrine would be better.
Los, los, los!
Trade gaining works. The Spanish Civil War is only for grinding trades. And in multiplayer, especially because the Soviets and the Germans and the Italians, to some extent, always nobody would win this war. Everyone would just get some trades. This menu is also very important. Always want to prioritize your reinforcements and your updates, because you don't want your newest weapons in for the recruits, and the frontline troops have no weapons. That's not a good idea.
Achtung!
Oh, I forgot another thing. I need an agency. But it's also historic correct, because Germany was never very good with his agency compared to other nations. I just look if I can't expand the combat wisp because this division is very too small, but I don't have enough tanks for this. At the moment, must build some more.
Wieder zurück!
Retreat? No retreat.
Befehle? Ausrücken!
I don't care what you think.
Weiter! Weiter!
I need some agency upgrades. Then I can recruit more agents, and I need create collaborative governments in France and in Poland. Then I get more resources later. So, Autarkie, Großraumwirtschaft, Autarkie. Next ship finished.
Weiter! Weiter!
Scharnhorst and Gneisenau, some of the lesser known German battleships. Bismarck and Tirpitz, everyone knows this, but these are very unknown.
Zuhören! Achtung!
Very important in the supply system that I run out of supplies. I'm too far from my supply hub. Use trucks to improve this a little bit, but I also must watch where the next enemy supply hub is. If I can capture this, I can solve this problem. But I no one in reach. My tanks are out of fuel, so they lose their armor. And that's the reason why this Spanish division can pierce me now, and that's not very good. I need more agency upgrades, and this guy reduced the costs for this, and I get more slots from another agent. This guy Canaris, he was in the First World War in the Battle of the Falklands survived this and returned from South America to Germany. And in the Second World War, he was the head of the German Abwehr, the secure intelligence agency, and a little bit part of from the resistance or near to the resistance. And then he at the end he was shot because the I think they found some secret letters or something like that. Bauwesen. I need a heavy gun, heavy artillery. No. No heavy artillery. The field hospitals, I really like to use them because not the reason is not the manpower, but the experience. I now gain some experience from my troops, and later this is very useful, but it's hard to gain them without the field hospitals. If you fight against a strong opponent, because then you take too many casualties and you can't you lose your experience. I can not enough tanks, but trucks, yeah. So, more industry for me. Yes, let's stop here. The next part comes soon.